Hi, hope you're doing well. Checking in. Just a little video about the Airbnb crisis, the situation with everything that's been happening with Airbnb and holiday lets and all the Airbnb properties that we all have. As you will be aware, you've seen a lot of cancellations, a lot of travel bans internationally due to the coronavirus. Um, I'm going to talk a bit about that today, brief little chat. So it started off obviously with the travel bans. Each country starting to like make treks in to stop travel to lessen the spread of the virus. So obviously it came around to US and then over to the UK, and whole of Europe stopped traveling in between countries that are landlocked and flights overseas unless it's cargo or something like that. But so that's obviously had a big effect on everyone's Airbnb, Booking.com, holiday let business, because that's what we depend on. We depend a lot on people traveling overseas for events at local exhibition centres, or just coming into the city centre to just enjoy city life. So, and that was a big hit for us, obviously. And then secondly, the local regional travel restrictions was another big hit. Obviously, businesses temporarily closing down, uh, employees being sent home. So there's no like a few people when once this travel ban, this international travel ban, came into act, and they started seeing some Airbnb cancellations. They recommended that I try and market towards contractors and those kind of people, but that didn't work because literally give it 3 days later, contractors, they wasn't permitted to unnecessary travel either. Do you know what I mean? So if they was working on a job, they had to cancel it, and their employer would reassign them or just have them working remotely. You know what I mean? So there was no win-win. There was no winning opportunity out of this situation. So as you know, obviously Airbnb overrid all of our policies. So they provided all the guests that booked before March 14th with full refunds, and obviously able to do what they want to do, because obviously the governments all around the world are not permitting them to do traveling. So which is understandable, but obviously you see the calendar and then it's like, wow, dates dropping left, right, centre. At the moment, I haven't got in any of my properties no bookings until May. So that just shows like what's happening. We're currently in March. So March, April, May, no bookings at all. All right. And that's the same case for a lot of people. I've had to kind of differentiate it, but we'll talk about that in a little while. So one of the other things as well, Airbnb was recommending hotel stays, hotel properties for guests to stay in rather than the Airbnbs as alternative, because Airbnb as their business, they don't want to be offering accommodation while this crisis is going on. So instead they offered them, because on their portal now they have hotels partners. So on their portal they offered these guys in as an alternative to staying at an Airbnb property, which is kind of like a backhanded slap in a way, because you're taking the business away from your bread and butter customers, your hosts who have been with you from day dot, and giving it to your hotels that are well established and really don't need the money like as much as us independent hosts do. But it is what it is. So obviously you have to think on your feet in this situation. So I've had to look at potentially working with key workers and homeless people, because one of the things that not many people tend to think about, because at the moment it's March 2020, we're in a national lockdown, as most countries in the world are currently right now. So we're restricted in our hours outside of the house, and we're not permitted to leave unnecessarily at all. So I've had to try and differentiate it. And one of the factors that came into my head when I heard that we was going to go into lockdown, even before that, was homeless people. What are homeless people going to do? Where are they going to stay? Because they've got no permanent residence where they can just self-isolate to restrict themselves from getting infected. They've got nothing like that. So I was thinking, why can't my property be available to these people? So I gave out a couple of calls to a few housing associations, homeless shelters, charities, all those kind of organisations, just to see if they can try and connect the dots. Even the Birmingham Council try and connect the dots and help me. It was obviously, I had no time to register, I had no time to go through all of the legal parts of the whole procedure, but I just wanted to offer my house and have homeless people there temporarily, 3 to 4 months housed. But I haven't heard anything, nothing's happened with that so far, but obviously I'm putting it out, so if you guys can take it and run with it, potentially try and put your properties available to homeless people. But one thing I am having a bit more success with is making a property available to key workers like care staff, like NHS staff that are actually working on wards that are dealing with COVID-19 sufferers, people that have the virus at the moment. So I've found a few links that I've basically shared amongst my my groups, and I've registered my property on there to see if I can obviously get some people in there and re-let it out, because at the moment it's just sitting there, nothing's happening. Housing market's drying up, so not a lot of people really want to move in on a permanent basis or short-term basis. They're more happy wherever they are. Do you know? They're not selling the house or anything. So I'm more than happy to offer it up to the key worker. So if anyone watching this is a key worker, or you know a key worker, a group of key workers, got 5 bedrooms, 7 beds, 2 bathroom house available in B16 Birmingham, feel free to email me, and obviously we can get in touch and talk about getting some people in the house. So I've done that. And obviously another thing as well, I got an email today, weirdly enough. Airbnb is doing the exact same thing I just stated. They are offering the service. So they have said to all of their hosts, like asking the question, would you like your property to be available to COVID-19 key workers, all of those kind of people, so they'll have a place to go to rather than mixing with their family when they could have the disease themselves. So registered for that as well. So I've got like 3 or 4 different platforms I'm registered on just to get this house filled and key workers put in a more suitable place rather than mixing with their families. But that's it for today. That's it for this video. So it's a little update about what happened with Airbnb and the COVID-19 case. But yeah, feel free to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll be back in a moment for a bit more. Peace. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, and comment to see more of my journey. Thank you.